Hello Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition
Dungeons & Dragons show!
I'll have some announcements and a recap for all of you, but before we get into any of that, we'll do a quick round of player introductions. Would you go ahead and take that away?
I'm Nick. I play Embers of White Ash, the Sun Soul Tabaxi Monk.
Hello, I'm Kay, and I play Lady Elwyn Amalos, who is an elvish Circle of the Land druid.
Hi, I'm Gabo, and I play Art, the Battle Master Fighter.
Hi, I'm Zach, and I play Vert, the Changeling Armorer Artificer.
Thank you, everyone. We premiere our episodes on YouTube every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. Throughout the campaign, we use a variety of custom items, monsters, species, and all that fun stuff, so be aware of that as you're watching. The character portraits were done by an artist named Zyra Brittany, who goes by @ZylaV on Twitter. If you need a refresher, you can check out our campaign wiki at World Anvil to get caught up quick. You can also check the video description for links and information to everything I just mentioned and more, including some links to trans rights, Black Lives Matter, and Stop Asian Hate resources. We don't have any social media at the moment, but we are working on it. It is coming. We've got some good stuff lined up for it. So stay tuned and be ready to go check that out and follow once it's ready. Other than that, we just hope you enjoy the show, share with your friends, and come back to watch some more. Let's roll the intro video. And welcome back. Previously, on Antiheroes Anonymous, the former Imperial soldier known as Art has come to Amberhearth after escaping Greymantle Penitentiary during the chaos created by the Silver Seekers. His arrival coincided with the start of the Restoration Festival. What should have been a happy occasion was marred first by violence between rival gangs in the town square, and then by Vert's discovery of Art's past. When the dragon spirit Nyadon learned that Art was present at the execution of Vert's mother, he took control of Vert's body in an attempt to kill Art. Elwyn managed to talk him down, but the Seekers are now due for a difficult talk about Vert's many secrets. And so that is where we're going to pick up for tonight's episode. The group of you, with night falling over Amberhearth, it still seems like the festival is in, if not in full swing, in swing down below in the town of Amberhearth, but you are up in your keep, kind of situated on a hill looking down over the town. Vert, Art, Embers, and a couple other friends like Torin and Vert's father in disguise as, remind me? Norin. Are all getting ready to have a dinner of venison caught by the best hunter.
There's some salad.
Yeah.
However, Elwyn, you had just gone outside the keep to kind of get a breath of fresh air and saw another person coming up the road. A person you recognized as Scholar, now is the correct title.
Right.
Shava Devier. So we will start there, I think, once I find some music. There we go. Yeah, so you see the kind of tall, willowy form of this drow woman coming up the road. And as she gets closer, you can see that where when you first met her, switch to a different Elwyn song. This is more your
This isn't the one.
touching moment Elwyn song.
Not a touching moment.
Yep.
Not necessarily. Where when you first met her, in her kind of white, silvery hair, there was a golden streak. Now you can see that's been replaced by a purple streak. And she comes walking up the road towards you, kind of folding up a parasol now that the sun is going down, taking off a pair of dark sunglasses. And she kind of catches sight of you outside the keep and gives you a wave.
Oh! Did I know to expect her? Did I know she was coming? No? Okay, didn't think so.
Had Elwyn been, like, attending town council meetings and things like that?
I would think so. I feel like since we've gotten back from our latest excursion, Elwyn is probably the face of the Seekers, at least on a political sphere.
Okay.
So she's probably been the one to go to represent everyone at the council and like.
In that case, you might not have been expecting a personal visit, but you would have heard that one of the things that the town was putting forth before the festival was the idea of getting people to come from outside of town and kind of see Amber Hearth and celebrate its restoration. And one of the places they naturally were sending those invitations was down to Erudition.
Right.
Since it's been a long-time trade partner of Amber Hearth. So you may not have known that Shava specifically was coming, and you certainly didn't know she was going to come up to the keep and see you tonight.
Right.
But you would have had an inkling that maybe some people from Erudition would come to the festival.
Right. Okay. Then, I think that when Elwyn sees her coming up, she just kind of like lights up immediately, and she runs to meet her on the path, and says, "Scholar DeVere, I didn't know to expect you. I wish you'd sent word. We would have made a room available or something."
I apologize. In retrospect, perhaps I ought to have sent word. I just thought maybe I had let the council know, but perhaps word didn't reach you.
Things have been a little chaotic, as you can imagine.
I would assume this festival is on a grand scale.
Yeah. It's
a lot of effort, it seems.
I think it's blown past everyone's expectations, but it's a lot of fun. Have you had a chance to walk around and partake?
It was a bit bright for my taste earlier, so I spent most of the day in my room, but on the way up here I had a little look at some of the things that are still going on. Looks like a lot of fun.
Right. Well, I'm just very humbled that you thought to come up here and see our keep. It's kind of, we are running a kind of haunted house kind of situation, but it's not open right now. We're having dinner. Do you want to come in and have something to eat? Embers went hunting. She caught fresh venison, and there's freshly gathered forest herbs and the like, if you're interested.
I don't know that I've ever actually had venison. It's not very Underdark, is it?
It is not, but it would be a taste of Amber Hearth for sure.
I would be glad to take you up on that offer.
Great. Well, come on in. I'll show you around.
Okay. Yeah, she'll follow you in.
Yep. I'll lead her into the keep. Take a centering breath as Elwyn, the pescatarian, the very much does not eat animals, only fish.
Fish aren't animals.
Especially not. Mm-hmm. Yep. Centers herself and, okay, we can do this. Goes into the keep. And, I'll lead her in.
Instantly buffeted by the smell of meat.
Yeah. Just, you know what? I'm just going to breathe through my mouth tonight. That's what we're going to do. I don't know if that's going to help. And she will kind of say, would you like a tour now, or do you want to have something to eat first?
I wouldn't say no to a quick tour. I did have something I came here I was hoping to talk to you about.
Well, sure.
So perhaps we could talk about that as you give a tour?
Sure. You know what? I know that just a place. So I'll, take her kind of the long way upstairs, up to my rooftop garden, which is kind of...
It's all spooky right now?
It's a little spooky, but I think she would appreciate it because it does have a lot of, the spider webs and the kind of Underdark inspiration. I think she's got, some glowing crystals and stuff, she was very clearly inspired by her time down there when she decorated. And, of course, the giant ice sculpture in the back of the group.
Yeah, she takes a minute to kind of pause and look up at the sculpture of everyone. Is the sculpture of everyone? Is Tuppence in it? Or Charm?
Yeah, I think they would both. They would both be. Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of takes a look at the statue and she just kind of turns to you and says, This is very nice.
Oh, thanks. It's a little sentimental, but I was feeling inspired. Please have a seat. There's like a little, like a garden bench.
Yeah, there are benches that kind of line the outside area. She takes a seat on a bench that kind of
I like put on a pot of tea.
Faces the town so that she can kind of look down at the town while you're talking.
Yeah, and her a cup of tea.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
It's nothing so important. I wanted to come and thank you personally. I know that I owe gratitude to your entire group, but I feel as if I owe you in particular a special debt.
I mean, I feel I don't know what for. You've thanked us enough even before we left Erudition.
I know, but things have transpired since you were there. We actually were allowed to create a little, still small, only a few people, but a few members, but a little church to the Weaver.
Oh. Well, that's great news.
And in part, that is all owed to you. In large part, in fact.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm sure she would be very pleased. I'm sure she is very pleased about that.
She gets kind of like a coy, knowing smile on her face when you say that, and she says, "Oh, in fact, I know that she is pleased." I've heard from her.
Oh?
And beyond my own personal desire to come here and thank you, she wanted me to pass a message along to you as well. Apparently she's recently reestablished some connection with her daughter, and again, that seems to be all thanks to your efforts.
Yeah, there was an incident several weeks ago where, I needed them to work together, and I kind of strong-armed one into working with the other. I still don't feel super great about it, but if the Weaver's pleased, then maybe they're on the right track.
I don't have total visibility into the situation, but
right.
It sounded to me as if they're talking.
Well, that's great. That's great news. It's wonderful news.
And she just wanted me to tell you how very grateful she is.
Well, she's helped me out quite a bit too, even since you and I have parted ways last. So it's really the least I could do to pay her back for her help.
She really does want to help, I think.
I hope that's true. I want that to be true.
I think she intends to prove it through her actions. Again, I don't know for sure, but that's the sense that I get.
And I want to believe you. I'm going to make the choice to believe you. I don't know if I fully do yet, but I'm going to try. Sometimes
the best we can do is decide to believe something, and then eventually it does become true.
Well, you heard Embers' speech back in Erudition. I think that, if we are going to make a start here as the Seekers, if we're going to be offering redemption to people, it can't stop with her. And I have to offer the same to the Weaver. I think that's why I've been put in this path and why she's been put in mine.
I think you're right. I think the two of you together are going to do some incredible things.
Whew, it's kind of scary. It's a lot of pressure.
Oh, believe me, after what I saw down in Erudition, I don't think you have any need to feel pressure.
Thank you. Oh.
That wasn't the only reason I wanted to come. The other reason was I wanted to let you know that I don't know if you have any intention on revisiting Erudition anytime soon, but if you do, you might not find me there for a little bit.
Oh? Are you going on a journey somewhere?
Yes, me and a few of the other members of the little church that I was telling you about. But we've decided to go on a journey into the deep dark to try and locate Tenebris, the city of the Weaver, and establish a connection with our long-lost kin.
Is that wise?
The Weaver assures me that it is.
All right.
And, as you said, I'm choosing to believe.
Well, as much as I would love to go with you, I believe I'm needed here for other things, but do you have a way to contact me if you do need me?
When you say that, as much as you'd like to go with, you have other things you want to do. Could you roll an insight check?
Yeah.
On her reaction there?
Yeah.
Do you even need to roll?
Do I need to roll?
It's not a high DC, but you might as well roll.
Oh god, I thought that was a 1 for a second. But it's not. It is a 26.
Okay, yeah.
No.
26 on a d20. Your magnifying glass?
It is 26.
I need to leave it here.
I was just trying to do math in my head. 26.
Yeah, you see, Chavadevir, is a person who's very composed in general. But there is this slight moment where you can see a flicker in her expression of disappointment. She had probably come here with the hope that you might join her. But then it's replaced very quickly because you rolled so high, I think, with a I guess I'd call it acceptance. It's what she kind of anticipated would probably be the case. She came here on a long shot hope that you might come with her, and there's disappointment associated with that, but it's not like it's a devastating disappointment.
I see.
I want you to
I very much would like to visit Lumera as well at some point, and I'm not sure when my path is going to take me there, but as I've said, my first and foremost mission is to help the Seekers with their tasks. So my hands are a bit tied right now. I'm sure you understand. But again, I do want to help if there's a way I can help.
I do understand, and it's kind of you to want to help more than you already have. She kind of reaches over to she sets her tea down on the bench and reaches over to hold your hands, and she says, "But I want to impress upon you our willingness to help as well. From what I've heard of the things you faced down in the chasm beneath Erudition, and the things you have yet to face as a group, it seems as if your path is a dangerous one, and I do not know how much I or my people can do to help. But the Weaver very much wants me to tell you you have her support, and that runs through us as well. We're at your disposal."
I thank you, truly.
It's nothing, really. After what you did, it is nothing. Very kind of you, though.
I do think that whatever lies in my future is going to be quite difficult, so any assistance that we can get, it's very reassuring.
Well, you have it.
Thank you.
Should we get some of that venison?
Yeah, let's go get some food.
All right. What's going on down in the kitchen? / the dining room area.
Yeah. Embers is preparing the dishes for everybody, just like taking it out one by one to set the table. She's got a bucket of milk that she's pouring into glasses.
Now, did you harvest this fresh from the wilderness, or is this from your decanter?
This is from the decanter.
Okay. So you didn't go that far.
Your decanter has a couple settings.
Yeah.
Is this just like...
So, there's no glass setting on the decanter.
Right.
So I have to like fill a bucket first with a gallon of milk, and then I can pour it into cups or glasses or whatever.
Or dishes.
It's really inconvenient.
Unless you're trying to trash an office.
Bowls.
Yeah.
Also, tell me if Ellen would like this or not, but Vert was gonna give her like a little like ornament, like a snowflake or flower or something, and have it smell like flowers, just so she can kind of like
to help her. Wait, no, you have to make a scene of that though.
You want that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
That's cute.
So she comes back in from outside with Shava.
Yeah, and at that point,
She goes around introducing Shava to those that she hasn't met yet.
Yeah, which I think is Basil in his disguise.
Yeah, Norin and
And then
And
Art.
me. Yeah.
And then Torin. She might have met Torin when he went down there with the
with the recruits.
caravan. She probably would have gone out of her way to meet other members of the Silver Seekers. So I think that she's probably met Torin, if only briefly.
So I'll just I will introduce her to. Is Kashura here? No, Kashura went back to the thingy.
but like
Yes.
Vert as Bachelor would try and intercept Elwyn before she gets back to like the dining room. So maybe he's like coming down the stairs or something.
Okay.
And he has like one of her like accessories.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes down, greets Shava, and then says,
And I'll introduce Shava to him as if he was someone completely different.
yeah, like a deep bow.
Yeah. Oh, this is Bachelor. He's our butler.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't recognize you, so she greets you
Yeah.
as if meeting you for the first time.
And then
What can I
any
do?
guest of the Seekers is welcome here.
you
and
very much.
and my lady, I'm sure that the current choice of food is to your liking, but just in case, and he like fashions it on her next to her neck, like
On her collar.
in her collar.
Yeah.
And then magical imbuement to make it smell like flowers, so then she can kind of like not.
Nice.
It's
You know.
like a handkerchief with
It's a
perfume on it,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Like, I put it over my nose.
Yeah. And then he kind of like, and then he guides them to the dining room afterwards.
Thank you.
Art, Shava is this almost like unnaturally tall and like thin and willowy looking woman with like a very long neck and limbs. She's wearing this like white and gold accented robe and has this like waist length hair that is kind of tied up and has a streak of purple that's kind of woven all the way through it. And she comes in and she sees you and she says, hello, I'm Shava Devier. I'm from a nearby city called Erudition. It's nice to meet you. I assume you're a friend of the Seekers?
Yeah, hi, my name is Art. I actually just came into town myself. I only
Me too.
knew Embers from before, but everyone's been very welcoming.
They're a nice group of people.
Yeah.
From my experience.
I'm certainly lucky to have been invited to stay.
I want to check something.
Mm-hmm.
Does my father react to Art's presence at all? Roll insight on him.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, roll insight.
23.
Oh.
That's certainly good enough. As you're watching your father in disguise as Norin, he seems to just be getting along with Art just fine. So you would guess he probably doesn't recognize him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that I'm not... No alarm bells or anything.
Nope.
Was he present for his own execution?
He was
That's
not.
a good point.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, he's just very... I would imagine knowledgeable about all of these types of subjects. So maybe he's like can put 2 and 2 together and be like, oh, this
it doesn't
is
seem as if
who
he
is
has. No.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, he spent like 5 or 6 years in the prison, but he was like in a mirror.
Right.
For a second, I was like, would he have recognized Art from the prison? But no, he was trapped in a mirror.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Quick history question above table. How many years has it been since the siege of Vagma?
Getting close to 6 at this point.
Okay, gotcha.
It's still relatively fresh for the Empire.
Super fresh for me.
I wish people could see that glare.
Listen, all right, y'all need to talk it out.
Maybe after dinner. We'll see. I don't know. I'm thinking about it still.
It's like the most awkward family dinner ever.
Yeah.
What family dinner is this?
Is Bert like bristling over in the corner?
What does that mean?
Like, are you just like a cat with its hair on end, or like are you?
I can roll a deception.
Like super. No, are you like super uncomfortable though?
I can
were
roll
you trying to
deception
deceive the DM?
myself.
For yourself?
Yeah, I'm trying to, because I don't know. I'm trying to.
What's that?
I think he's keeping it together pretty well. He's probably hovering around Norin and Art if they're like sitting together a little bit more than the other people. But
I think probably like the person. Oh, I'm still playing this Elven music.
It was
we
so
can still be
nice.
Elven.
It is
That's
very
fine.
lovely music.
So lovely.
What's some good music for this?
But I mean, he likes meat, so he's probably just also just eating.
I think probably the person who is like most trying to get time with Art is Torin.
Oh, okay.
Torin is like the big burly white dragonborn.
Yeah.
He like instantly is like admiring your armor and your sword. And yeah, just like it kind of has basically like taken the seat next to you.
Yeah, I'll vibe with Torin. I think I'm answering all the questions. I'll maybe, if he admires my sword, I'll say that. I'll say its name. I'll say its name is Fulgora, and that it's been handed down by family like for generations, like going as far back as the War of Liberation.
Well, I've never seen anything like it. This is, I mean, it's incredible.
It
It must be an ancient weapon.
Yeah, it's definitely kept me safe, and it's helped me in a number of battles. It's a point of pride for him. I think, you know, it's been passed down from his family, but to him, like, it was given to him by his dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was a certain point in his youth where his dad deemed him like worthy of wielding this weapon. So you can tell that when he receives his attention, he's like, you know, a little sparkly in the eyes, like, yes, like, I don't know, excited to share that with.
Yeah, he's a lot of like big toothy smiles for most of it, but when you talk about like getting the weapon from your dad, he listens with more of like a solemn reverence during that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he just seems very like interested in like hearing all your stories, and he asks you questions like, "Where did you learn to fight?" Like, yeah, stuff like that. He probably gets into like, what's your like weightlifting and training regimen?
Yeah.
Oh, and there is very specific. Don't ask me about it now above table because like I don't know. but it is very strict. Yes.
Yeah.
He's not. Yeah. I was gonna think, is he gonna stuff himself out? Yeah, we'll say he's bulking right now. So he's like he's plate after plate of venison. Yeah.
I've been putting together a little training area in the yard. I don't have any like nice weights, but I've found a lot of good stones that are relatively equal weights that I've been putting on a bar. And then
I think his tail, like there's a little bit like a cat, can I help you?
So they're gonna
set
end the
up?
night
Like
in the
I have,
area.
listen, if I had like my training station used to look like this and this is what you should look for. He'll tell him how he can make the best use of these stones and like just min-maxing and okay, this day of the week work on this day of the week work on this.
Soren's taking notes.
Yeah, he's like, I'll spar with you. Like, he's super down.
He when you say you'll spar with him, he gets super serious and he says, "You promise?"
Yes, absolutely.
Bachelor's gonna come by during this conversation and just put his hand gently on Tornvik. Master Redworm, do remember that although we appreciate your efforts, we do have budget for things like weights. Walks off.
This is the problem. When I was with the Wardens, we had a very nice facility. It was a whole barracks. There were tons of options for strength building, but and sparring and training, everything you could want. This town is so much smaller than Port Horizon's Shroud, and limited budgets as Bachelor. He has to think a second. Yes, Bachelor. As Bachelor suggests, I work with what I have, but I do miss my training facilities back in the barracks.
He'll say, listen, I completely understand. I come from a small rural town in Elnord, and we also equipment wasn't exactly abundant, but you can absolutely make do. You don't need fancy equipment to keep in shape and get stronger and
I've been trying, but it is difficult when all I'm doing every day is training the recruits.
Yes.
It's hard to find time, I suppose, and the motivation to keep pushing myself.
I definitely...
Perhaps if you're going to stick around, it would be nice to have a buddy. And I find that I work better when I have someone there with me.
He genuinely smiles at that. I think and he says just very truthfully, I hope that's the case. I hope I can stick around.
Yeah, he gives you a big smile and puts an arm around you, and then I don't know. Does he have is there ale anywhere, Embers?
I was gonna say.
I'm sure we've cracked out the ale.
There's definitely ale.
Yeah, he looks at your mug and sees that it's partially empty, and goes to pour you a little more, and sits down and puts that in front of you. And he just goes to keep talking to you.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Meanwhile, I think Elwyn will find an opportunity to sit down next to Embers and just put a hand on her arm and say, I know I didn't partake of the main event, but I have to say this is one of the best salads I've had in my entire life.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Well done, Embers.
Thank you.
Look at how happy everyone looks.
Yeah, I think Embers looked at Art and Torin just shoveling away.
Throwing it up.
Yeah. I was worried I maybe gotten too much, but now I don't think that I did.
No, I think it was perfect in amount. It was really good foresight. Thank you. Are you doing all right?
Embers says yes, and is lying. Because her gaze flicks over to Vert.
Do you want to come up to the garden with me for a few minutes?
Sure.
Yeah? All right. And I'll take her upstairs.
I think as you walk out, you see that Shava is starting to talk to Norin. They're kind of engaging in a conversation.
Norin can handle himself. Well, and it's, Shava's an ally, so it's fine. Head upstairs with Embers. Once we're up in the garden, I'm so sorry. Today has been a little bit weird.
Seemed really scared, and I still don't know why. What happened?
So your friend Art, who is actually he's wonderful, honestly. And I know that everyone who made their way into the penitentiary, some of them might have actually had a history to put them there. Art, did you know he used to be a warden?
I knew the broad strokes. I knew he was a soldier with the Empire?
Turns out he was a pretty high-ranked one. And he was involved in what happened with Vert's family. Vert recognized him.
I see.
But
Vert is a reasonable person. Vert is a rational man. What happened?
He lost control of his rationale. I can't remember if Embers knows about Nyadon.
She does not.
Right. I didn't think so.
So now we keep not
like,
having the
I
conversation.
mean, but she knows he made this, like, construct thing that, like, okay. I mean, I think at this point, Ellen is just kind of rubbing her temples, because she's like, oh, I just wish he would tell you. It's not my secret to tell. So you can roll insight if you want, as she's rubbing her temples.
While you're doing that, if I recall correctly,
Embers
and someone else was like, Vert's really smart and they figured it out, and that was like
yeah. That is what happened.
I don't usually butt into things between the players, but I am going to give you advantage.
Oh, okay.
Because like you pointed out, you know Vert's very rational.
It's true.
And you can see that, like, Elwyn, I guess we'll see what you roll. Mm-hmm. But I feel like you have enough to get advantage on this.
18.
Okay, yeah, you clearly know that there are things that she's not saying, and that she knows more than she is telling you.
I understand that these aren't your secrets, but why am I talking to you then, if that's the case? I was upset before that it took Vert this long to confess to Torin the basic things about just who he was. Torin's a friend and an ally, and he deserved to know what I knew about Vert much sooner. And now I found out I don't even know everything about Vert. This can't continue.
As you speak with that 18 insight, Elwyn usually doesn't have a lot of trouble holding eye contact with people, and she cannot meet your eyes right now. And as you continue to talk, you can see that there are, like, tears coming down her face.
I don't know exactly what Art did. We don't really talk about those things in prison. It's sort of an unspoken rule. But I do know that there were very few people in Greymantle who joined in our sessions with Pastor Brandyman, and Art was one of them.
And she does look at you now, and she says, I am convinced. After you left, after the fox hunt, I took Art out to the tavern, and we had a couple of glasses of honey mead, and I confronted him about it, and I agree. I think that he does deserve a second chance, and I told Vert so. But it's really not in my hands.
There's something going on. If you told him and he knows, he should... I guess there's a lot of emotion around that. And I can't fault him for that, but I just don't understand why he reacted so strongly.
It wasn't him. I can't tell you more than that, but Vert is, you're right, he is a rational person, and he knows, and he's willing to give Art a chance, I think.
Okay.
But it's not fully up to him. And I want to tell you everything. I've wanted to tell you everything from day one, but it is not my story to share.
Then I'll talk to him.
I'm sorry.
I guess I can't talk to him without betraying your confidence.
Can
you tell him to talk to me?
You can talk to him. You can talk to him.
Alright, I'm gonna do that. As soon as dinner's over, because this is a lot to go through at dinner. With Jabba.
We have a couple of guests that really should not be privy to this kind of...
I agree.
Do you want to wait up here and I'll send him to you? Or can you wait until...
Let's wait until it's the four of us, because I feel that Art should hear this too.
Okay. Embers, I'm sorry. I never wanted to lie to you.
You're not the one I need an apology from, but I accept you. And Embers will just go down.
I think Elwyn will stay upstairs for like 5 more minutes just to compose herself before she goes back down.
Roll a perception check.
Me?
Mhm.
Oh boy. You thought you were gonna cry tonight.
no.
Elwyn the mediator.
You like hit it straight into her heart. Like this is something that she has been worried about for the whole time. And she's like, oh god, you know I've been lying and I can't. Perception? Dirty 20.
Okay. As you're kind of sitting there feeling like warm and overheated and the tears are coming out and you're just
Feeling all
trying to
the
put
feelings.
yourself back together.
Yeah.
You feel a cool breeze and just a single snowflake touches your cheek. But there's no other signs of snow in the air.
I think I'll turn my face in that direction.
You just kind of end up looking out into the night, but you do feel that brief moment of cool breeze with a single snowflake.
And I'll just say into the wind, I have an apology for you too. When you're ready. And if there's no answer, then she'll just kind of get up and brush herself off.
You wait a few minutes, and it doesn't seem like there's an answer tonight.
Yep, that's fine. I'm used to it. And I'll just brush myself off and check my face in a mirror on the way back downstairs to make sure I don't have any mascara lines and
You got to do a little touch up.
little touch up. Swing by my bedroom and do a little touch up and then go back on. Yeah, easy peasy.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone wants to do during dinner?
Do I recognize Art's sword?
Art's sword. You don't have to roll a check. No, you don't. You've never seen beyond. It might have been on his person when he was up on the podium.
Yeah,
but it's not one of Vogma's treasures.
It's not what I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I was pretty sure after his story, I'm like, he's a pretty honest guy. Probably not. Probably don't recognize, but
That'd be so fun if I was like, yes, this treasure that I stole and
I know.
creating a new narrative.
That said, I have a question. Do you have a story for your plate? Your magical plate?
My
plate
armor?
Yeah. Do you have a story for how you got that?
Like me as a player, no, I did not come up with anything about that.
Can I insert something?
You're gonna insert something controversial. Yes, let's make it interesting.
Roll an Arcana check.
Oh my god!
Me?
Yep.
Oh
Okay.
no!
I mean, that's fair.
I got a 19 on the dice, and that's +7, I think. So,
This.
If you're inserting, though, please remember my character and his values, and that he wouldn't, steal.
I understand.
he did understand.
God.
The plate armor that he wears it's very clearly magical, and it looks to be made of mithril, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know your metals. It looks like it's made of mithril, which is this incredibly durable and protective metal. But also lighter, I think, than most metals is part of the deal. You don't know for sure that it's this one, but there were a couple sets of nice mithril armor in Vogma's treasures. And the thing that I'm going to insert is that you were given this armor for your good service.
Damn.
That's what I'm inserting. Yep.
Would I know where it came from, though?
Not necessarily. Yeah. And what I'm saying is, Vert doesn't know for sure that it was one of Vogma's treasures, and you certainly don't know. But you were given it for good service.
Boy, that's suspicious, though, Diem.
I just need to write some notes down for no particular reason.
I should have said yes. Actually, my mother made it for me.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
In quotes, good service.
Oh my god. How could you?
This is what I'm here for.
How dare you?
I'd like to make an edit to that.
It's written in.
It is written.
Henius purple.
It's recorded forever now.
Sorry, listeners. Inside joke.
Alright, I will not change it.
So anything else during dinner?
No.
Then I think dinner probably comes to a close. Shava's probably the first to excuse herself. Torin then has to go kind of see to the recruits and make sure they've got all their preparations ready for the next day of haunted houses. As well as probably putting them through like some evening training.
Can Art help him with that?
Yeah.
I think he'd enjoy that. I'll help you out.
So there are 3 recruits. Let me find their information here. Let's see. There's one that I can for sure remember how to spell. So that I can search my notes for it. Okay. 2 of them you've seen before. There's the hobgoblin woman who was kind of bored and took your ticket punch at the door when you came through the haunted house. And then there was like the mushroom being who invaded personal space and made you breathe spores that gave you telepathy so that they could speak to you. The 3rd one you haven't met yet is a very enthusiastic human teenage boy, probably like late teens, like 17 or 18, maybe 19, but he very much looks like a small town farm boy. He's tall and lanky, kind of still growing into his height. He's got like messy brown hair and like freckled tan skin from like working out in the sun. These brown eyes and rough hands, and he's when he's here, he's wearing like dirty overalls and boots. And he carries around with him this staff of wood that is very clearly like hand carved, and there's like a little chunk of amber that's like wedged into the top of the staff. And that's Eustace Good Grapes to get introduced.
Yeah. Good grapes.
I love that.
Yeah.
He's so cute.
He's cinnamon roll.
And they, I guess Torin would kind of turn to you and say, any recommendations for the evening training?
Oh yeah, are there any drills that he usually like make? First of all, can I do like a general like check to see like what is the status of this crew? Like how are they looking like build wise, like resistance wise, cardio wise, whatever.
Like a insight or perception, whichever one of those you're better at.
Probably perception, right?
Or in fact, actually just roll like athletics. I think
I'm good at that.
It's not generally this kind of skill, but you're appraising their physical fitness.
22.
22. Okay. Okay. So Izzy and Eustace, Izzy being the hobgoblin woman, and Eustace being the human teenager, they don't look terribly fit. Eustace, like they both have some degree of muscle built onto them from like the training they've been doing, and then Eustace probably also from like some of the working out in the fields in his earlier years. But Tremella, the mushroom person, myconid is what the species is called. Tremella actually looks rather strong. Yeah. Probably the most physically fit of the group. However, what was your roll?
22.
22. You do notice that like Izzy has what looks to be like a holy symbol, and then Eustace has that staff. So I don't know, maybe they have like, maybe Izzy is some kind of like priest or cleric. And then who knows about Eustace?
Yeah. So that maybe their strengths aren't in being like
strong.
You know, strong. Yeah. I'm still gonna recommend some cardio because that helps everyone, and then I think I would help him do maybe like to make the cardio more fun, maybe like set up like an obstacle course with like whatever's in there. And
Torin smiles and takes you around the side of the keep where he has set up an obstacle course.
Perfect.
It's like he's got stakes in the ground with like string tied between them that they have to like crawl under, and then he's got like a section of like broken wagon wheels that they have to do like the foot touches through. There's like a section where they have to like climb up a wall of the keep and then like boulder along the side of it.
Incredible.
And then they have to like run around the rest of the keep for the rest of it.
I think
he's already got this set up.
Yeah, I think he'll help him like go through maybe do some like a few labs or so, and then help them with like a sparring session, but not necessarily like, you know, sword hit target kind of thing, but like maybe try to help them focus with like what he can, which is like maybe like dodging, like helping their sense of agility in these cases, like what to do in a tough situation, how to get the upper hand, like how to strategically like get yourself out of a grapple, that kind of thing, you know?
Tremella is definitely your best student for that. Tremella is just basically like sitting directly at your feet, like giving you no space and like hanging on your every word.
Incredible.
And kind of takes to that sort of training very easily.
Yeah, I think he has a lot of fun with them. Like he's like, you know, there is a certain you can tell this has been drilled into him, so there is a seriousness about it, but also a lightness, because these are kids, you know, and he admires like the effort, the attempt.
Eustace is definitely a kid. Tremella, you're not sure. Izzy looks like maybe she's about 30.
Oh, okay.
But still like a raw recruit as far as you're concerned.
Yeah. I think he has fun in doing that. I think that's the happiest he's been in a while.
Yeah. Torin just kind of sits back and like watches you do it. He's got a whistle as well. And like after you've run them through a couple of the paces, he like rummages around in his pocket and pulls out a second whistle and gives it to you.
He's so excited by
this. It's just like a wooden whistle that like he may have.
And this is now his most prized possession next to his sword.
Oh.
That's great.
That leave the three of us alone in the house?
I think it does.
Oh yeah?
I don't think so.
Well, us and
Shava.
Well, Shava
left a little early. Yeah, she made some excuses.
us and your dad.
I think she kind of wanted to go and see the festival now that it's darker. It is still going on.
Yeah,
It's just like a lot of people have gone to bed, and a lot of people have woken up. Like there's a significant drow
crowd
population that is now out and enjoying the festival.
Yeah.
So. So that does leave the original Seekers alone with Norin, I suppose.
I think Elwyn has found a bottle of wine to open. And like giving a glass. Are you yourself now, or who are you now?
I wouldn't be unless I need to be.
Who are you? Are you still Bachelor?
I'd probably still be Bachelor, walking around doing stuff. But...
Give Bachelor a glass of wine. Tell him to sit down and take a break. Give Embers a glass of wine if she wants one. I don't know if she drinks wine or not.
She drinks a lot of wine.
She'll drink anything. I know how that goes.
Yeah.
Here, you can have a glass of wine.
Yeah.
I'll pour one for myself. Pour one for if Norin's going to be here. Or if you would wander off. Yeah, so it's just the three of us probably sitting around the remnants of dinner.
Yeah, Norin probably picks up on kind of an awkward dynamic and says, well, I'll be excusing myself for a little bit.
Yeah, I think it is unusual for Embers to ever decline a glass of wine. And
I just wasn't sure.
And does tonight.
Oh, she does?
Oh,
okay. Yeah, okay.
If it's a we need to talk thing, then Vert would want to talk in like the sitting room that's in the second floor.
Yeah, so imagine that I just said that
okay.
I poured all of these glasses and we're in the sitting room.
Okay, that's
not
fine.
in the dining room.
Just wanted to-
Norin excuses himself to do dishes.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'll say he does.
Okay.
I'll still pour a glass of wine from hers, but I'll put it on the table in front of her just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case. And sit back. And I think Elwyn just looks expectantly
Yeah.
between the two of you.
So, Vert, I had to... Ellen told me to leave very suddenly, right after the cupcake contest.
Yeah, I have some explaining to do.
I
And
would say so.
when he says that, he also changes his disguise, his changeling form, and then he kind of changes clothes from his, like, you know, bachelor's outfit to something more comfortable, and then he takes a seat. Where do I start here?
I will say all I know is that, according to Elwyn, you were not yourself. Somebody else made you attack Art.
Embers, I'm not going to lie to you. I'll tell you anything and everything you want to know.
Why did you do that?
I was not in control of my mind.
Well, who was?
There is another entity that occupies my mind. I can tell you the whole story if you want, or as much as you want to know.
I would like to hear it all.
Okay. I might as well just share, just for your
Oh, yeah,
player knowledge.
Yeah, just stay in character, keep it going.
So, this happened when I was growing up in Vagma. My father, he like gestures like downstairs where his dad is. He had a hobby of using a lot of arcane objects and studying them. That's kind of where I grew a lot of interest for myself. There was an accident one day. I was able to frequent his study as a child, and without his knowledge, and I touched something I wasn't supposed to. Something that contained some essence of a very powerful being, and since then we've shared my mind.
And it's still there.
It's still there.
Have you ever tried to get rid of it?
The thought has crossed my mind many times, but
Rumblings.
yeah, it knows my intentions, I think. But we've agreed to try and work together, and we had an incident today where we disagreed for the first time in a way that turned almost violent. I let my mind become weak and let it take over, and it has a lot more hostile intent about my past than I guess I do. But normally I keep it in check, and we have agreed that shouldn't happen again.
I see. If you want, I know meditation techniques. Night on rumbles.
I don't know if the audio picked that up, but there was a loud car
Yeah.
bang outside. Yeah.
Vert just kind of nods and says, I will let you know if... Yeah, I mean, I'll let you know if I want to take you on that. But first, I think I need to apologize to both of you and say I'm sorry that happened, and that I haven't been forward about a lot of information.
The one I want an apology from isn't you.
Do you look at the little construct?
I mean, no, I think she looks at Vert, because he still hasn't told
Yeah.
Embers that Nyadon's in the construct, and I'm not going to give it away pointedly like that. Yeah, Couple's like, wait, what?
My jaw dropped. I'm like, wait.
Ellen will look at Vert, because Nyadon was controlling Vert, and just say, I want him to apologize.
because that was very petty, very childlike behavior, and we can't have that happening again.
Bert's like opening his ears more so that I don't hear. It's like,
Like, you hear that?
yeah. I mean, can't really force him to do anything like that.
Do you say anything to him?
I mean, I
Internally?
assume he can hear me. I assume he can hear me.
Oh, yes, he always, like, present.
It's kind of
It's complicated.
it's complicated.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think I will actually.
Okay.
I think I'll just let that fall where it falls.
You don't hear anything from him.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
What I mean to say is, it's not your fault what happened.
It is kind of my fault what happened though. So
What set you off so badly? And why does this thing inside you? Because I don't think Emrys has heard the word Nidon yet.
No.
Why does this thing inside you care at all about what happens to Art?
So, this thing inside me is named Nihedon, and
Can I roll a history check?
Sure.
Okay.
It's going to be a high DC, but you are
Okay.
pretty good at history.
Yeah.
And you have inspiration.
I do have inspiration in case I need it.
boy,
Oh, that's a 25.
Oh, so
There's a 19 on the
19?
die.
Oh,
I mean, honestly, 25 is probably what you needed. It wasn't going to be a 30, but it was high, so just say 25.
Shit.
It's a name you've heard before, but like you would know it's a very obscure thing, and it's honestly miraculous that like the name probably cropped up once or twice in one of the books you read back in the prison. Let me just scan through Nihedon's history here in my note and see what you would know.
despite our best efforts, right?
We're trying.
And you're doing amazing.
Oh, that makes total sense. Okay, so there is a location that kind of sits between.
Well, let me pull the map up.
Yeah, the map would be very helpful.
It's on the east side.
It's
Hold on,
it's
everyone.
Elnord and it is Daegu. I thought it was Daegu.
Straight
North of that.
here, right?
Yep. You need kind of the full map
Yeah,
for
let's
it.
go back
Yeah,
one.
they can't see
Yeah.
your pointer anyway.
There we go. There is an area of like perpetual mist and fog
That's right.
that sits between
That's right.
the states of Elnord and Daegu, and it is called the Mists of Nihedon.
The northeast.
Yep, the kind of the northeast
whole
quadrant
place
of
fine.
the Empire.
They can't
Empire.
see your. They
I
can't see
know,
your
I'm
nose.
talking to us. Sorry, viewers.
Gray spot in the northeast.
That's like where you would have heard that. Like nobody really talks about this area all that much. It's not like a very common topic of conversation. And even like the name of it, the official name of it, is maybe not like terribly well known. Just some people might just call it the Mists or things like that. But one of the books you delved into talked about it, and they talked about how that region was once home to a dragon whose name it shares. And Emperor Stratos killed that dragon. And ever since then, the area has been shrouded in mist.
So I'll continue then.
Yeah.
So this thing's name is Nihedon. My father sneezes very strangely downstairs. To put it simply, I guess, to start, Nihedon and I both have history with Stratos, as you may know, and we both want revenge. So, like I mentioned before, its motives are a lot more hostile than mine, I think. Well, it's ready to take action a lot more readily, and that's where we butt heads.
But I don't see what that has to do with Art.
So, yeah, that's right. So, Art was at my father's execution, he was on the podium.
Embers reaches for that drink.
Yep. I had a feeling you'd
Vert
need
just
it.
lets out a big sigh, like there's just so much.
I told you Hart was fairly high-ranking Imperial Warden. Was involved in what happened at Dogma. So much so that he was present for such an event.
He swing that.
No.
I don't know. But he was there, so
And I spoke to him tonight, and he regrets his involvement, and he wishes he could change it. I honestly think he is deserving of a second chance.
Of course he is.
As I've said.
yeah, Bert's like just kind of staring at the ceiling, just kind of like shaking his head a little bit, like.
I still think that you need to speak with him and make up your own mind. And we will be nearby to make sure that what happened earlier today won't happen again, despite what you think about your agreement with Nighthawk.
I mean, revealing myself to someone who is up for governorship.
I'm not saying
like
you need...
the legate or something, like, you know, a big figure like that. That seems kind of suicidal.
I'm
don't
not
you think?
asking you to reveal yourself, just asking you to get to know him and make up your own mind.
I mean, earlier, I know, I said I trust you, so I'm trying to. I mean, what do you think about this, Embers, now that, given what you know now, has anything changed in your mind?
I guess Ember says, the only thing I want to know now is, why didn't you tell me any of this before?
I don't have a great reason for that. I think part of it is I have been a little scared of telling anybody anything for a long time, ever since I have some experience with trying to open up to people, like Tuppence, and she makes a song out of it right afterwards, right? And I know that you're not, I'm not trying to, no offense intended, but not the best liar. So I don't want you to have to deceive people either, but I guess it was me protecting myself by protecting you. And I've been ready to talk to you about this for a while, I just haven't had the courage to do so.
Embers just like kind of shakes her head and says, embarrassed? Ashamed for what? Because some experiment, some accident happened a long time ago? You didn't do anything.
Yeah, I know.
There was no reason to keep it from me.
You're right.
When I was reluctant to talk about you, to talk about my past with you, it's because of things I did that I was ashamed of. But I did tell you. This is not that, and I don't understand.
I know. I have been worried, about things like bounty hunters and other people that are coming after me, and if they get any details from anybody, I know that we're the only 3 people in this room, in the world, that really knows all of the details now. So I am okay with that, but ask me to tell someone else, and I'm not going to want to, because I'm worried that if any information gets out of the room, we're going to have bad people knocking on our door. And, there's spells that we know of now we didn't before, like Zone of Truth and stuff like that they used at the Grey Mantle, that sometimes that can make you talk. Even if it's your best intention not to, so just to keep the information close between the 3 of us, I think, is enough. I don't really want to tell anyone else.
I see. So, Torrin now knows as much as Torrin's ever going to know.
I'm not going to say ever, because, if you asked me how much I'm going to tell people 6 months ago, it's very different than what I've done now. So, I think my views can still change, but it's just hard for me. So, if I have to relinquish more information to more people, it's just going to take me some more courage to do so. And, I mean, you know me, I basically live behind a disguise 24/7, so that's where I'm most comfortable, not being like this.
And that's why we're on the path that we're on. It's not right that you have to hide. It's not right that they're hunting you.
Yeah, I would like to not have to worry about such things either.
Alright.
That's why my dad's also disguised too, so... But I promise, Embers, I will be open and honest with both of you moving forward. If I know anything else that's important, I'll share it. I'm not going to hide anything from you.
Alright.
It's a promise.
Embers nods.
I'm gonna insight check both of them in
Do
this
it.
moment. Cause
Do you guys want her to roll separate or one check for both?
I don't care.
Let's roll separate.
okay, for Vert, how honest is he being with his promise to be truthful to Embers, and how much am I gonna get embroiled in the middle of it again? 26.
I'm being as honest as I can be as of this moment.
Okay.
As of this moment.
Does Embers believe him? Ooh, that's significantly less. 16.
I don't know. Embers can't beat a 16.
Which is part of the problem.
Yeah.
Unless you roll a 15 on die.
I rolled a 15 on die, but that's a -2.
Yeah.
It's a 13.
Do you believe him? Are you convinced?
Embers... You get the sense that Embers is... A lot of her, anxiety and sort of, discomfort in this moment and in this conversation is not about whether she can believe what Vert is saying.
No, I mean, do you believe him when he says he's going to be honest with you?
Oh, she has doubts.
Okay.
But yeah, you also get the other thing. That, there's something else going on with Embers, too.
Okay.
Well, is there anything else that you want to know about me, or...
Embers, make a perception check. Make a perception check.
Me? Okay.
Yep, Embers. Sorry, I said that with my sleeves kind of in front of my mouth because I've just been sitting back watching.
Oh, wait. 14.
Eating popcorn.
14. As this conversation kind of lulls, the Nexus construct just kind of shifts a little bit, as if uneasy.
Okay. I hate to have to ask you this. When we started in Port Horizon Shroud, you hired me to be a bodyguard. And that is how I saw myself, kind of up until we left Fimir. And ever since Fimir, up until now, I've started to think of myself as your friend. But I want to know how you see me. Am I your bodyguard or your friend?
At this point, you're my friend and one of my closest allies.
Alright, then please treat me that way.
And Vert nods. Okay. And then he sighs and says, well, I guess I'll try and talk to this.
And maybe you hear, I think at this point maybe you hear it from the outside. It's gotten really loud. You're like, yeah, go, cheering them on, hyping these new recruits up.
One more lap, Eustace! One more lap!
He's like, yes, sir!
I think Embers is actually going to go out to the recruits because she doesn't want to talk to one of them.
Yeah.
But that can be later.
Well, I mean, it sounds like they're wrapping up their workout out there. So it would be a good time to go out and talk to them. Let's put some nicer music back on.
Yeah, damn, y'all. I was over here
I know. Welcome
my
to the main
heart.
campaign. This is where we live.
you built a very you didn't realize it at the time, but you built a character that has a very complex dynamic to this group.
Yeah.
I knew there was going to be a lot of this to get you in, but here we are.
I love it.
All right, what next?
I want these two to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Embers and Elwyn will... Well, maybe we let Embers lead the way, and Elwyn will kind of hang back and just check on Vert for a second before we go down.
You know, next time,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying there's going to be a next time, but if there is a next time where you have to come clean to someone, instead of asking them what they want to know, you've got to just tell them. You just got to tell them everything. You didn't even tell her about this. And she gestures wildly to the construct.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about
Well,
that.
you can't keep...
Look, I know, I'm not very good
She
at
doesn't
this,
know what
okay?
she doesn't know.
Yeah, I know, I don't know. I'm sorry.
I know it's hard for you to open up and trust people. And I know what the risk is and what the cost could be. And you should have told Embers months ago.
He nods. Very guiltily.
And now you've also put me in a position where she can't trust me either.
Yeah, I made a mess of things, didn't I?
Yeah. In a lot of ways. And I think Ellen runs to catch up with Embers. At that.
Getting scolded.
Yep.
A doghouse
Ellen's
just
like-
forms around you.
I built one.
Doghouse. Just like... Oh.
Okay, yeah, Embers and Elwyn, you go outside and you find Art and Torin. Art has a whistle. Art and Torin are putting the recruits through like one final lap of the obstacle course that Torin has set up around the keep.
Can I roll an insight check on Torin?
Yeah,
Guidance.
I don't have his stats up, but he rolled a 6, and I know he doesn't have a huge bonus.
Okay, yeah, I beat a 6. Is this what Torin has been doing this whole time to train them?
Maybe? I mean, like, Eustace and Izzy haven't built a lot of muscle by the
I
looks
know,
of it-
because
of it, so
Chris is coming down here and realize, maybe for the first time, that she's put a former soldier and warden in charge of training 2 spellcasters
Yep.
that he knows nothing about.
Yeah.
Well, Ellen's been helping with the spell
Okay.
Yes.
casting.
Yeah.
You get the sense that, like, yes, there has been a lot of this, but this hasn't necessarily been all of it.
Okay,
Because if
okay.
this had been all of it, Eustace and Izzy would probably be more, like, physically fit than they are.
Can I add that maybe you also, like, after the labs, maybe you catch, like, Eustace successfully getting out of a grapple
Okay.
from Art.
Okay.
Okay, I
Art
kind
lets him
of...
alone.
I let him a little, but, like, I just make sure he has the technique right, and I'm like... And I'm like, yeah, you did it! Good job!
I'm sitting here, like, because I want to say something as Eustace, but I'm trying to remember for the life of me what his voice is, and I just can't.
I make something up. It's been
Yeah.
Mute suddenly.
probably a year since he spoke in this campaign.
All right. Yeah, when he finally gets out, he goes, "Whoa! Did I do that?" And he looks up at Torin and he's like, "Coach, did I do that?" And Torin just like gives him a glare and he says, "Not Coach, Captain, did I do that?" And Torin just gives him like an appraising nod, and he just like turns around and does this like yes motion where he like pulls his fist in towards himself. But when he does that,
Oh no.
I'm so scared.
yeah, there's like a burst of energy that emits from the top of his staff as he like has this moment of joy. It looks like a beam of cold energy just like shoots out into the sky.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Whoops.
And he just kind of like looks up at it and just kind of like sheepishly rubs the back of his head. That doesn't always happen, I promise. I've gotten a lot better at controlling it.
No, Art is fascinated. He's like, that was so cool!
Right? I'm just learning how to do all this stuff. It just started happening to me one of these days. I don't know, a couple months ago. It's really new, but it's so cool. I can do stuff with cold, and sometimes wind too.
Whoa, can you do fire? And he like...
I've never managed to get fire.
Can he like do like a little fire breath, but like an itty bitty one, like maybe on his
Yeah, just like a little
yeah.
I mean, his eyes go white. No, I can't do anything like that. That's way beyond me. Just little things here and there, but
you'll get there.
One day.
This is really cool.
Ellen walks up to this point.
You'll get there one day. Probably sooner than you think. You're very talented.
that'd be awesome. I mean, there's a lot that you can do, I'm sure. I mean, I've seen you do a lot with just cold and ice and snow, but
That's true, but even I have to resort to using fire sometimes.
fire would be so cool.
I'm biased, so yeah, I agree.
No one in my family can do anything like this. My entire family, generations back, we've lived in Amberhearth. None of us have even... I'd never even left town before the trip to Erudition, the mission we did with Captain Torin over there.
Which you did splendidly.
Roll an insight check.
22.
22. Yeah, Eustace, like, blushes a little bit when you say that, and he kind of, like, looks down at his feet. You get the sense that, like, the mission did go well. You've heard the reports from Torin, but you get the sense that, like, he has some anxiety about, like, himself or his performance or something about that mission. Yeah.
Okay. I'll clock it for later. Not tonight. Tonight's about celebrating.
It was a lot of fun, though. I mean... Yeah, I mean,
Very
like I said, no one in my family's ever left town, and then here I am going on missions and learning how to do magic. Wild.
Ember's kind of wanted to come down here to talk to Izzy specifically.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, when training, she's kind of doubled over. Breathing heavily, but off by herself at the moment.
Hey, Izzy.
She, like, straightens up and kind of brushes herself off and, like, pushes hair to the side that was kind of, like, stuck to her forehead with sweat. Straightens her back. Hello.
I wanted to ask you something. I got maybe kind of a job for you to do, and I think only you can do it.
I'm just trying to find my information on Izzy real quick, since I haven't brushed up on her information in a bit. Okay. Yeah, she there's like a look of interest in her eyes, and she says, Does it pay extra at all?
I want to say, I've been meaning to establish this for a while. The time was just never right. Embers did pay all three of them in 100 gold out of the spoils from the Grey Mantle mission.
Okay.
Because like when the initial recruitment posters were up, I almost said wanted posters.
Yeah, different thing.
When the initial recruitment posters went up, it was like such and such per week plus considerations. Like bonuses from missions that they didn't go on, but we made out like bandits on. Those are the considerations.
I see. Okay. I remember it was like 11 silver pieces per week or gold pieces per week. I think it was probably silver, but it was something like that. So yeah, you are paying them, but then I guess, yes, there's also bonuses. Okay. In that case, yeah, she probably wouldn't ask you for extra if you just paid her that much so recently. Instead, she'd say, yeah, I could do something for you, boss. What's tonight?
Are you familiar with the Dragon Tooth Brotherhood?
Heard of them? Yeah.
Yeah, I think they might be Tiamat worshippers, or connected in some way to Tiamat.
Her eyes narrow a little bit as you say this.
Can I make an insight check on that? Not great. Insight 11.
I think that's enough. I was going to set the DC at 10. You're very close to making an assumption that she has strong feelings about.
I see. Oh, are they not?
They might be. Frankly, I don't know a lot about them, but it sounded as if you were about to approach this conversation with certain preconceptions about our church and our beliefs.
I don't think I was. I think that they have sort of a destructive outlook on Tiamat. One that's maybe not the right way.
He nods
Yeah.
fervently at that.
And I wondered, I don't think that I would be able to do very much to sway them, coming as I do from a different angle, but maybe they're in the holding cells, a bunch of them were arrested, and I'm not saying today, this can wait until after the festival. I don't want you to go and have a bad time or feel like you have to do extra work during the festivities, but once everything settles down, maybe go to the cells and see if you can talk some sense into them from like a real priestess of Tiamat.
They're very much in cells, though, right?
As
See,
far
these are hardened gang members. From what I know of the Dragontooth Brotherhood, and it's not a lot, they're a serious gang, right?
as far as I know, they're in cells.
And there would be guards present?
They're in a jail.
Okay, I could do that.
Okay. That's all I'm asking.
I mean, I've never done a lot of, Actually, let me read her history here. I've only done a little bit of, like, outreach work. It's not really something I've done much of before, but I can give it a try.
Thank you. And I'll pay you extra?
Yeah, she shakes her head and says, as much as I'd like to take you up on that, one of Tiamat's tenets that I believe in is being frugal with your spending, and you've given me a very generous bonus recently, so I'd advise you to just... You may have a lot of money now, but it's always wise to be careful with it.
Well, I appreciate that, Izzy. Between you and me, I have no idea how much money is worth.
The bonus you gave us was very generous.
I see.
I'll put it that way.
It felt like not very much to me, but...
I think you fed Eustace's entire family for the next 5 years.
Oh, gosh. All right, then.
Okay. Yeah, let me make a note that she's going to go talk to the Dragontooth Brotherhood people in jail. Because that seems like something she could very much do.
Meanwhile, I think Ellen tries to eventually find a way to extract Eustace from his conversation with Art, to leave Art available to be approached.
You don't have to do that.
I totally do that.
Send a message to
That's
Eustace
how
from
nice
the
I am.
window. I'll be like, don't listen to her.
No, that's how nice I am. I go out of my way to make things convenient for you.
Okay, great.
Do you want to, like, pull Eustace aside to give him some pointers about
Yeah, I
magic or
think
something?
that as we're in this conversation about his magic, I was like, it has been a while since you've shown me your progress. Why don't we come over here to the spellcasting training ground and you show me some things, and maybe I can help hone your craft a little bit. And I, like, put my arm around him and just kind of guide him away.
And I'll be
Catch up with you later.
I was like, can I watch? Okay, I guess not.
No, I think I would say, which disguise did you
Yeah, I was gonna say.
adopt as we came down here? Because I assumed you came down.
Oh yeah,
with
so now
us.
I'm Grant.
Grant.
Yeah.
Who's Grant?
You'll see.
I was hoping you would go back to Tim, because I told him that Tim
Oh,
had
you want me to be Tim?
history with Vogma, so that might be easier, unless you're going to be someone completely new for this conversation.
I was thinking about it, yeah, but I can be Tim.
I mean, whatever you want to do, babe. It's up to you. It's just harder for me to be like, oh, by the way, Grant was looking for you.
Oh.
You've not met him, but he looks like that. That's just weird.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that what you want to do?
I think that's pretty funny, honestly.
Yes.
What does Grant look like?
He's like a late 20s, swept back hair, nice suit, kind of wearing guy. He's going to handle the interviews for the Silver Seekers.
What's his
Are these on the
species?
panel?
What species is
It's a human.
It's a human.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's handling what now?
Yeah,
The interviews?
interviews and stuff. So he's like, yes, I'm ready for
Are you
the
gonna talk to me about my benefits package?
Yeah, your compensation.
Art, Grant wanted to speak with you.
Uh-huh.
Human, young guy. He's in there. I think that he's involved in recruitment or something for us. Just if you see someone
Can
in
I
there.
insight check Elwyn? That's so shady.
I'm
sorry,
so
who's talking
tired.
to me about this like random guy? Oh, that wasn't good. So
I actually rolled really well.
it's 12.
I feel like I'm like message feeding her information. I'm Grant, and I do.
Well, you
this.
would have told us on the way down. You would have told me on the way down.
Yeah.
Okay.
19.
Okay, there we go.
So, like,
12,
you
like-
believe her. She's
Okay,
just
yeah.
like,
The
yeah.
Silver Seekers are just like a much better established group than you
Super.
thought.
Yeah, wow.
He
There's a whole
handles-
process to this. I didn't even think about it. He's like, wow, they're so professional. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like, I had to interview and like prove myself to join the ranks
Right.
of the
and
Empire.
if you're up to it, I
So-
think he wants to interview you now. So,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He's waiting for you.
He like.
Yeah,
Straightens
and I
up.
think Elwyn brought a glass of wine out with her, and she is just like drinking it as she takes Eustace off. Just like, I'm gonna need a little bit more of this
Yeah,
for tonight.
Eustace shows you a spell he's been working on, which he actually kind of learned by watching you. He's learned Ice Knife.
Oh, nice!
Yep.
That's awesome.
So I think we
A very
spend.
dangerous spell.
It is pretty dangerous, yeah.
hands
But
of-
yeah, I think we've got like, you know, like an archery target on a tree, but we're like throwing ice knives at it.
Can you roll? I assume Nature's better for you than Arcana.
Actually, I am proficient in Arcana now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same bonus.
Okay, either one then.
Must be nice.
I know he's been
Looking at
working on Arcana during downtime for so long, and with the update to the 2024 rules, I got an extra proficiency, so I got Arcana.
Vert will get it soon.
Damn.
So I'm like, hey, guess what? I got a bonus Arcana.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm just looking at my -2 over here.
Okay.
It's okay, we got it covered.
So that is a dirty 20
Nice.
for both nature and Arcana.
Yeah, as Eustace is showing you his spells, from what you've seen from him, like he does a lot of like things with like wind and with cold and ice and snow. But there is one moment where you're practicing throwing ice knives at the trees, and one of the ice knives, like as it connects with the tree and right before it explodes, you see something. There is like a jolt of electricity that runs down the length of the knife, and then it explodes into ice shards.
That is interesting. I've never seen anything quite like that before.
What? I mean, what'd you see? It exploded. It's supposed to do that, right?
Right.
Mine always explode.
No, yeah, the explosion was great, but
Okay.
how did you get the electricity in there?
I didn't do anything with electricity.
Lightning. Do you
What?
do you cast lightning magic inherently?
No,
Yeah.
I've never ever done anything with lightning.
Insight check.
Roll an insight check.
This one. 22.
He is genuinely confused.
Okay,
he didn't
alright.
see it, and he doesn't know what you're talking about.
All right. Well, you know, I do know a few lightning spells. Let's see how you do with these.
Okay.
And I'll
Yeah, I mean, I'll
teaching
give it a try.
Yeah, I'll start teaching him the like basics of. I mean, I don't know any lightning cantrips, but I'm pretty sure I could.
You can figure it out. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, I have like a few lightning spells in my druid entourage.
Yeah.
Entourage?
Underwave and stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you could walk him
Repertoire.
through. You could walk
Yeah.
him through the basics of one of them.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen again. Yeah, but you know you saw it.
Interesting. All right, let's keep an eye on him. I'll have him show me some of the other things he knows how to do.
He there was, like I said, there was a brief moment where like he seemed a little bit down on his performance in the mission, but like getting some one-on-one time with you and like practicing his magic with someone who knows magic, he brightens up.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pester him about the trip tonight. I'm just gonna shower him with praise and make sure that he knows that he's appreciated and that his skills are good for his level. You know.
Okay. Yeah. He seems to enjoy that. You have some good practice.
Good.
I'll switch the music.
No, let's keep it light.
It's gonna be like that. Dark dungeon. That's hold on. That's licensed.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing happened to Disney, I swear. Anyways.
Yeah. So you come in the sitting room?
Yeah. And would I know where that is?
I mean, yeah, I would have given you.
Okay.
I would have told you
I would've
exactly where to
The
go.
door open and be like, please come in. Take a seat.
Mr. Grant? Yes, sir. And I just I sit in front of you. I think this is an interview. Listen.
No, I'm smacking my forehead.
It's because of me.
Oh, and you?
Not at you. You're great. You're wonderful.
Vert can't be honest. So
Vert has a problem.
It's the whole problem.
He has an actual problem.
He has a problem. I thought long and hard about what I'd
Jesus
be in
Christ.
any way, honest.
This is why Elwyn had to bring
No.
a glass of wine out. He's like, I can't believe you're making me do this.
Anyways, so yeah, you sit down, and then he kind of just looks at you, looks you up and down a little bit. He has a clipboard, and he just starts writing in it.
Yeah, he's trying to maintain eye contact and be,
Yeah.
serious. You saw the fun side of him out there, hyping these recruits up, and now he's fully
He's,
serious,
sweating.
ready,
Yeah.
sweating a little bit.
Yeah, he's like, so I understand you want
Straightens up.
to be part of this group?
Yes, I am
Organization?
interested in joining the Silver Seekers.
Writing on the clipboard. Tell me about your experience.
He hesitates at that because he did have a heart-to-heart with you. But he doesn't know who this person is.
That's true. You do not.
So I think I have been training since I was a child under my father, who was a soldier, and I have been a soldier for the past. Prior to now, I was a soldier for
Tell me about
around
this gap. in
20
resume.
years. Literally. I was a soldier for around 20 years. I am proficient in swords and bows.
I'll stop you right there. A soldier for who?
Insight check? Can I insight check
Yeah,
you?
yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing yet.
15.
It should be a soldier
What am
for
I-
whom? That's what you find out.
It's just a 15.
Okay, well,
Basically, I'm trying to gauge where's this going?
So,
does he know?
I got a dirty 20, so let me just elaborate. When he sees you kind of pause, he's like, private military? Are you part of a certain branch of military somewhere in the...
Yes, I am not currently serving anymore, but yes, I was military for a number of years. That's not what I do anymore. That's not what I want to do anymore. But in terms of my experience and how that benefits this group, I believe that military training, formation, and experience in combat and out in the field is it's something that I bring to the table.
He kind of folds his arms over the clipboard for a second. He says, "Let's just be frank with one another." This is really ironic that I'm saying it this way.
It is incredibly. Yeah, the irony is not lost on us.
Yeah. What are you hoping to achieve? If you have military experience, and you're not in that organization anymore, and you want to join us, what made you seek us out?
Okay, being completely frank with you,
Because I am being completely frank with you.
Don't.
I
Deception check, motherfucker.
realized along my path in my career that my values were not aligned with the military. I want to do good, and that is not... Following orders blindly isn't necessarily aligned with that, and it took some... It took me a while to see that. So I know this may sound very... I was gonna say... What's the D&D equivalent of like Miss Universe answer? You know what I mean?
Like poster boy.
Yeah, I know this sounds like a pageant answer, but I genuinely just want to do good in the world and put my training and my abilities to the benefit of those who can't protect or help themselves. I will be frank, I initially I sought out Embers for some help because I do have a friend, a companion who I was separated from, and I do wish to help her as soon as possible. But aside from that, I do Embers is one of the most wonderful people I've ever met, and I truly believe in her. So I know that if she's with this group must stand for like good and bettering of like ourselves and the world, and I align with that.
Grant just kind of nods along and lets him finish and says, "Okay, you were being frank with each other, right?"
Yes.
I thought you were being Grant with him.
You already have inspiration. I can't give it to you. What's your name?
Art.
No. What's your real name?
Who are you?
Grant.
Insight check.
What's your real name, bitch?
Okay, that's a 19 on the die.
I'm gonna escalate the suspense a bit.
24.
Well, I rolled a natural 20. And
Oh,
I have a 27.
damn.
You have disadvantage because you're being a dick.
Actually, he'd have advantage because of actor.
I know.
Well, I rolled, yeah.
Okay, Grant.
So he just kind of clasps his hands together, and he just waits for you to respond. I know a little bit about you, Art. But if you're going to join us, we're going to have to start being honest with ourselves, or with each other.
Find something.
For the
Okay.
people at home, Nick and I are rolling our eyes quite dramatically.
Okay, I see.
And he shows him the doors are closed, like...
My full name, if that's what you're asking for, my legal name, if you will, is Lagos Artorius Drogwin. But that is not the name I prefer to go by these days. I go by Art. And you see like a little smile of him remembering, which is a nickname that someone I used to care about a lot would often call me. And that was part of my whole... after my time in the army and realizing a lot of things, I decided to go by this name. So I hope that's okay. I don't mean to like lie about my identity. It's just I'd see it as like, this is who I am now, who I want to be.
I understand. Let me ask you maybe one more question. Were you involved with the taking of Vagma?
You see him stop for a sec and sigh. Look you in the eyes. Yes.
Okay. Because Tim and I happen to be from Vagma. So you can understand why we might have some hesitation accepting someone, even if they know at least one of the members of the organization,
I understand.
given a history or a past.
I didn't realize. I was hoping to talk to Tim. I didn't realize you were also. I'm sorry. I know I don't expect this to change your mind about me, and I understand if you would rather I don't stay here, or I leave, and I will fully respect whatever it is that you are comfortable with. But I do want to take this opportunity, and he's like looking, not breaking eye contact the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to take this opportunity to apologize from the bottom of my heart and ask your forgiveness, because if I could turn back time, I would do things very differently. I won't give you any excuses. My choices were my own. And part of what I'm hoping to do is atone for those sins.
Okay. And he just nods along.
Mm.
How far are you willing to go for your atonement?
I'm not sure I follow.
Are you willing to fight the Empire?
Yes.
To atone? Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna roll insight.
So you can roll either persuasion or deception.
Oh,
Your choice.
okay,
Don't
okay.
Tell us which one.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if it's persuasion, then if he's being honest, he doesn't.
Well,
I am-
only if you win the challenge, then he has to tell you which one.
Well, I got a 22, so
I mean, it was persuasion. I just rolled a 15, but yeah, I am being honest.
yeah.
I'm
there's,
not trying
no
to
doubt.
Yeah, no, he is
no
fully
ulterior motives.
he is 100% ready to fight the Empire.
Yeah.
That is in his plans. He just wasn't he didn't come to this group to be like, I'm gonna wrangle y'all to help me fight the Empire. It's more like I need help with this one thing, but if y'all are fighting the Empire, count me in. I am willing. You see in him with that 22, he is committed to this to the point that he will give up his life if that is what it takes to make things change.
Yeah, I think Grant just kind of leans forward and just holds eye contact with Art for
No, sorry.
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
To that point,
I'm okay with
for a
that.
pretty long moment, and just kind of watches him and
Zach.
kind of.
Do you let it happen?
I'm sorry. I ruined the serious moment.
Go watch our one shot. The King is Dead.
Yeah.
Please don't.
He's very
Please
funny.
do.
Don't.
Zach
There's
was blushing
video.
very hard.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
See how red Zach can turn
Yeah.
in 10
You want to
seconds.
see a tomato person?
Because we had cameras back then, it was great. Anyways,
Oh, I'm just remembering it now. Okay, so he looks at you, kind of unwavering eye contact, and gives you a nod and says, "Okay." I think on a provisional. Is that right? Provisionary basis.
Provisional is right.
Provisional
Provisionary is
basis.
not a word.
Yeah.
It can be what's it called? Those first few months where you're working, a trial
Like you're on
period or something.
probation.
Probation,
Yeah.
yeah.
He holds out his hand and says, "Welcome to the Silver Seekers."
And he immediately takes your hand, and, shakes it.
All right.
But after, he'll say thank you for hearing me out and for the opportunity. Can I ask about you?
Sure.
Okay.
You can ask.
Yeah, no, I know. He's listen, he's fully buying this. He hurt Grant. I was again, I'm sorry for my actions. Is how he wants to know everything basically. How old were you? How was your family affected? Are you okay? I think he starts kind of word vomiting a bit, all these questions.
He holds his hand up and says, "All you need to know is that I lost a lot of people I cared about those days.
Yeah.
And we were fleeing for many years until we finally found some shelter here."
I'm sorry for the role I played in that.
I think there's probably a lot of people like you that maybe, and Ember's, as you stated, is, she is one that likes to give people second chances, and we are learning from her that sometimes that's okay.
Can I do something?
So, yeah.
Thank you for your kindness and your willingness to provide that second chance, because I wouldn't hold it against you if you didn't.
It's not an easy decision, but I hope that you're true to your word.
Yeah.
There's a lot at stake here, and we have to be careful.
Is there anything in the immediateness? Immediateness, yeah. The look it up. That I can help you with.
There's a few things that we've been floating around, but we need to sort of. Now, all of us just returned here too from a mission, so we need to sort of touch base and
I understand.
Find a direction ourselves. So, but yes, I think in the near future we're going to have a new objective.
Okay, sounds good. I was distracted by that too.
It's okay.
Very good.
Yeah, and let's see. Otherwise, yeah, he just kind of wait. If there's like a lull in the conversation, he says, "Well, I think we both deserve some rest. There's more festival to be had, so take it easy, and you're one of us now."
Thank you.
Sure.
He reaches for your hand again to the
Sure. Yeah. Another firm handshake.
Yeah.
And that's that.
All right. Is there anything else that happens tonight? Are you going to stay here at the keep, or are you going to go try and get a room at the inn?
I think after that conversation, I think he'll maybe stay awake to try and see if he can talk to Tim.
Oh, okay.
But I think because he would like to also get talk to Tim, make sure that he's okay with me staying around, all these things, especially after that reaction, you know,
right.
But in general, yes, his plan is to stay there if
does Tim show up again at all tonight?
I think he wouldn't, and if Art is verbalizing his desires to talk to Tim, then either Bachelor or Grant would tell Art that Tim is taking some time alone right now to reflect on his actions, and he'll be okay.
Okay. Art feels super guilty because obviously it's his fault that Tim reacted that way.
It's
obviously
Octopie's fault.
Yeah.
No, because he knows it wasn't an Octopus thing.
Elwyn,
He knows it's a Vagma thing. So he's like, fuck.
Okay.
But part of him is happy that he is being given he's being given a second chance by someone whose life he helped ruin.
Yeah.
He didn't think he'd get that, especially not this early on.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. With a 22 deception, you're going to believe a lot of things.
Yeah, for sure.
Kidding.
No, it's true. Listen, with my -2.
No.
Oh wait, no, wisdom. it's plus, it's not as good.
If you are going to stay here tonight, I do have an important question, which is, what room are you going to take?
Whatever they give me, I will literally.
Do you guys have a place in mind for him? We can. I'm pulling up the map now. We can.
I don't even remember.
We can look at the map together if you want.
Because I know that we sleep on the second floor, and Tuppence's room is unchanged. It's Tuppence's room, but do we have
Oh, do you have a?
And we have
roll 20 is open.
A room for.
Yeah, move us up to the second floor, which is where I think all the bedrooms are.
You want to go to the second floor? Okay.
How many bedrooms are up there, though?
The bedrooms up here, I know that Elwyn and Vert are in this room here on the right.
I thought
we were on the left.
Oh, you might be on the left. Yeah, that's
we were
right, because
on
there's
the
the
left
deer head in the right one.
And then Embers didn't take a bed?
Embers curls up in this nook here, up to the north.
And then
Although lately Embers has been sleeping in Tuppence's room.
Tuppence's room.
Okay.
I guess my dad would maybe be in this one now.
Yeah, I think that would be Basil's room.
And then Art. Oh, there isn't really another. That's right. This is.
So this temple room is currently going unused. You could put a cot in there, or there's this area the sitting room. Otherwise, downstairs, or there's that room up on the roof the like art and music room. The art and music room.
No, I think
there's a
we
couch
would
in there.
probably,
Check the first floor again.
Yeah, we'd
Back to
probably
the first
put him
floor.
up on the first floor, like put blankets on a couch or
Where
something.
does like Torn sleeps here and stuff too, right?
Well, do they have like barracks?
Yeah, I think maybe Torin has been staying in this study here.
We just like converted that. To
I mean, I feel like we would have built or had rooms. I don't know.
You haven't done a keep project in any
Okay,
downtime
all right,
to build the
all
extra
right.
rooms.
You haven't given us downtime.
Listen,
You'll have some soon, don't worry.
You were like, you had 2 months
just-
or whatever when you got back, and
he
then
was in prison. He's been living he's been camping out, staying at like a little inn here and there. He will take a couch.
Can we?
The other thing I was
floor-
going to suggest is there's this like storage room here that's not being used. Like if you move the stuff out of there and like none of it's important stuff.
right.
Yeah.
Well, and I
you
thought
could
we
clear
had
a
some
little room
guests
that could
after
be
we
his.
got back from the penitentiary before people started going off on their own way. So I feel
Yeah.
like during the few weeks that we've been back, we probably have cleared out some space to
Yeah.
like set up some temporary guest rooms for
I was
people.
gonna say that, or there's like temporary housing, maybe outside. Like we can.
Yeah, so like
construct
have
something or-
tents or
Like
Have
something
like the
set
Amber
up.
Hearth community sort of help us build like temporary rooms while we expand the keep.
I mean, at most it would be things like tents and stuff.
Yeah, but I feel like those storage rooms down there, we probably cleared those out, and
Yeah.
at least to have like extra rooms for people to sleep in
Yeah.
when they come when they visit.
Yeah. The other option,
maybe one of
obviously, is you could throw him in a dungeon cell.
Yeah, we're not gonna do
Not
that.
doing that.
We're not doing that.
These cells are wide open. There are beds in there. Sorry, I'm totally kidding.
I know you are.
Did any of those rooms on like the first floor kind of call to art at all, or did you want to like post up in a tent outside? It sounds like you've got a couple options.
Yeah, he can take one of the storage rooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're
This storage room didn't originally have a door to it, but maybe like a curtain has been drawn across that.
Yeah, that's
and it
listen,
was cleared out so that
that's
some
more
other guests
privacy
could
than
post
he's
up
had
in
in a
there.
while.
So
Like,
ramshackle.
He'll even he'll make a workout of it, like moving boxes and like rearranging things. Yeah.
I feel like
Maybe Torin will help. Like it'll
maybe
be a little-
Ellen is the one who like leads you to your
Yeah.
quarters, and she's just like very apologetic, like, you know, we haven't had really a lot of time to add a lot of guest rooms to the establishment, so it's a little bit ramshackle right now, but
He's like, no. This is great. It's a roof over my head. You've already done enough.
He's
So
very
like,
gracious.
thank you. Like
Thank
he
you.
bows and he and hey,
feel
there's
free
a-
to, you know, make yourself comfortable, and the kitchen's right down there. I think there's maybe just a little bit of dinner left over if you get
Hell
hungry.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, he is hungry again.
Yeah. After that workout.
Yeah.
Good night.
Thank you.
Okay. Then if there's nothing else, the group of you can have a nice long rest.
Long rest.
And you wake up bright and early on the second and final day of the Amber Hearth Festival. And I think we will pick up there next week.
No cliffhanger?
No cliffhangers.
Okay.
I know I'm usually pretty good about cliffhangers, but none this week.
Okay.
Just more festival tomorrow.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Thank you all for playing. Thank you to everyone who came to watch. We'll be back with more of this Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Hope to see you then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.